Hey guys, this is Kyle here. It's Sunday, well at least 12 o'clock midnight, but it still counts as Sunday. So I want to let everyone know, I will be, my friends and I will be at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view live, within, say, 10 hours from now. This is already midnight. I will be at the pay-per-view Extreme Rules live here in Chicago with my friends. I will do a review on the pay-per-view and give you my live perspective of that. I kind of regret not doing a review of my live perspective of Money in the Bank last year. When I went to that, I kind of regret not doing a video on that. But during that time, I was just starting with this channel at least, trying to get this channel up and going and figuring out what I want to do with it, and that was on wrestling. So that was unfortunate, but I definitely don't want to miss a second chance on this with Extreme Rules. So look forward to my live perspective of Extreme Rules come tomorrow, later on the day or night of tomorrow. But what I want to get here is the Q&A. Thank you guys for sending in all of your questions. So let's get right down to it. So first set of questions come from Lamasu. You asked me, do I think Ryback is similar to Goldberg? Now, this is a question that's been popping in everybody's mind ever since Ryback made his debut, or re-debut at least, on SmackDown 3 weeks ago. Honestly, I think, this is what I say. I like Ryback. I liked him when he was Skip Sheffield part of Nexus. The three members, to me, I like from Nexus was Bryan, because I followed his career all the way up until he came to WWE, Wade Barrett, and Skip Sheffield. Those were three guys that had potential to me out of the entire group of Nexus. So to see Skip Sheffield back as Ryback, repackaged, I'm glad, happy for him. However, I wouldn't say he's anything like Bill Goldberg. I can see why people may say Bill Goldberg, but to me, Ryback does not have that type of intimidating type of charisma or presence that Goldberg held or had. He just doesn't have it. And even still to this day, even with a lot of big wrestlers when they use power moves and everything, to me, in my perspective, there's never been another wrestler, as I've seen, that gives you that impact and that force, of power and moves like Bill Goldberg. The only person to me who's come close to that is Brock Lesnar. But even then, it's not the same as Bill Goldberg. So to me, Ryback may have a likeness, I would say, to Goldberg. He may kind of remind you of Goldberg. But to me, for anyone to say that he's the next Bill Goldberg, like I've been hearing a lot of people say, I think it's way too soon to say to tell that. If not, he shouldn't even be compared to Bill Goldberg at all, because I think Ryback just has his own likeness or personality. They also asked me, also, do I think Bryan will turn face soon because of all the crowd support with the Yes chants? This is another hot topic that's been going on in professional wrestling. A lot of people think, with the Yes chants, that Bryan should turn face. I could see that happening, but also too, though, I think they can still pull off the Yes chants even with Bryan staying as a heel, because since Bryan's in the WWE, him working as a heel is the only thing that's been working for him. I don't know if being a face will really work for Bryan. Even with the Yes chants and stuff now, I'm not sure if him being a face would help him. Him transition to a face, it may kind of have him die down a little bit, I feel. Just the simple fact that, I think they can still keep him as a heel, and still have the Yes chance going, because I see with the Bryan kind of like how Kurt Angle was when Kurt Angle was a heel back in 2002, 2003, where people would, every time his music hits, and every time that note would hit, people would say, "You suck, you suck." And Kurt Angle had made a point of saying how he hates when people do that because it annoys him. But people still did it anyway just to annoy the hell out of him because he's a heel. But yet Kurt Angle was still over. So I kind of see the same thing with Bryan. I think they should keep Bryan heel because that's what's worked for him. I think Bryan right now is just better as a heel than a face right now in WWE. But I think that they could still keep going on with the Yes chants. But whether it's a yes chance to, to cheer him on because you're a fan of him and you love his work, but they can also be used too as a way, like I said with Kurt Angle, where you just say yes, yes, yes to annoy the hell out of Dan Bryan because he is a heel, and it'll still keep the yes chance going, but yet he'll still be pretty hot and relevant. So that's my opinion on those two questions there. Next set of questions comes from good old QR. What's up, Quad? You asked me if I could start a wrestling company, what wrestler would I sign first? Boy, I tell you, basically looking at how things are, honestly, the first wrestler I would sign would have to be John Cena. And I don't like John Cena, but, it is what it is. He is a draw. He does bring in the fans, if not kids at least. John Cena would probably be the first person I would sign for my wrestling company. Like, if I was starting a wrestling company right now, another person who I might think of signing, if the first person I might sign, I would say AJ Styles, but I'm not too sure about that. Not discredit him at all, but can't really think of anybody else who I may sign, like the first person I would sign to my wrestling company. Very good question. I'd like to sign CM Punk too. CM Punk or hell, Chris Hero, but someone that's like still young, like in their prime. I can't think of anyone on the top of my head, but I would say John Cena would be the first person that comes to my mind. You also asked me, okay, if I wanted to show a non-wrestling fan one match, what would it be? Actually, this is a good question because it actually happened. My friend Alex, who grew up never watching a single match in wrestling because his parents didn't allow him to watch wrestling when he was a kid growing up, asked me about how was the pay-per-view of Money in the Bank last year when I went to go see that. I told him about it. He's like, oh wow, it sounds really great. I played the DVD for him. The match I showed him was the CM Punk John Cena match for the WWE Championship, and he was at the edge of his seat. And he's 23 years old, and he's never seen a single wrestling match a day in his life, but he was at the edge of his seat during that CM Punk John Cena match at Money in the Bank. And now, I mean, he's not really too much into it, and in the wrestling now, I don't think he's become a wrestling fan of it, but he is going to Extreme Rules with me and my other friend Mark tomorrow on Sunday or later this hour because I'm doing this at 12 o'clock. So he's definitely going to be here with us to see Extreme Rules live. So, hopefully he'll become a wrestling fan. But that's the first match I showed a non-wrestling fan. And then your last question is... Oh, that was it. Your last question is, who is my favorite wrestler currently? Once again, straight edge man himself, CM Punk. And the reason why, Bob, you say, well, why are you such a CM Punk fan? I have a loyalty with CM Punk because Punk, along with two other wrestlers, Chris Hero and the other Dan Bryan, but CM Punk being the very first wrestler that I followed from the very, very beginning. I mean, from IWA, when IWA was pretty much a crappy indie wrestling show. And it still somewhat kind of is, but they've come a long way. But still, just seeing him come from the bottom of the barrel of IWA Mid-South Championship Wrestling indie show, just working his way up, all the way up through other indie shows like ROH and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla to currently now in WWE, and him being the WWE champion. It's just, I feel awesome as a fan to know that I followed him just that far back. So CM Punk is my current favorite wrestler. So thank you for that, Quad. Next question comes from 6573. You asked me, how do I feel about Jimmy and Jay Uso's ring entrance? Jimmy and Jay's ring entrance, I like it. I think it's good. I think, to me, it's helped them. It's added another layer of character for the Usos. It's part of the culture. I love it. And still to this day, WWE. What kind of pisses me off with the WWE when it comes to the Usos is that they've been talking about, we're going to try to rebuild our tag team. We're going to try to rebuild the tag team division. and yet the Usos have been in the company for like the past 2 years now, and they don't get any type of time. Yet alone they haven't had any type of title match or won any of the or hasn't won the tag team titles. I don't get that with WWE. Like, if anything, unlike Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne, who just got slapped together, and which they made a great tag team, but here you have the Usos who came in the business as a tag team, packaged together, they're ready to go. How come the hell you're not using them if you want to reboot your tag team division? You have one packaged right here. Use them with Ezekiel and Primo and maybe some other tag teams and build them up. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. They barely are on TV. They've barely been on Raw or SmackDown when they were when they were on Raw. They barely were on Raw. SmackDown, barely on there. So it's like, I just don't know. But to answer your question again, I love the Usos' entrance, and I really think they deserve a push. Let's see. Next question comes from the Mr. K-pop fan, and you ask me, who do I think is the most underrated K-pop group, Secret or U-Kiss? I'm going to say U-Kiss, hands down. U-Kiss are the most underrated K-pop group in this generation currently in K-pop music. Secret's a little underrated, but I don't think Secret's underrated as a lot of people say they are. They're probably like a step under. I would say like a 4-minute and star, even to a certain degree. But Secret are very popular. So yeah, so that answers my question there. So U-Kiss are the most underrated K-pop group to me. This is going to be it for part 1 of my Q&A video, so stand by while I do part 2, because I spent about at least maybe 5 or 10 minutes on this. So if I haven't answered your question in this video, I will answer the rest in part 2 of this Q&A vid.